What is consciousness? Well, I'm going to get ridiculed here. I'm going to get shot down in flames for giving you what is an interpretation, an impossible interpretation of what consciousness is, but using um, the what we as human beings have ruined society with words. We have created our own downfall using words, misinterpretation, multiple meanings, miscommunication, all these misses. You see, we're missing the opportunity to discover what consciousness is. And then when we discover it, we ruin it by trying to convey it with words. But when it's words that have no purpose or meaning or effect or opposing values, you see, it is accepted more, hopefully accepted more empathetically, compassionately to those that are trying to discover the consciousness that they are. You see, consciousness is simply a mirror. Now, this mirror is double-sided. How can that be, you see? How can that be? Because a mirror is of a glass effect and it's one-sided. And that what looks into it sees itself. But that what looks into it is not what consciousness is. It is an effect of what consciousness is. That what is seen through the mirror, the reflection. If we're looking at a glass mirror, that is what is looking and what is seen is the same thing, but it is an effect of the mirror. Consciousness is appearing to reveal itself as an effect of its pure glass state. But this mirror, as the speaker said, does not only have two sides. It has infinite, boundless, countless sides, or we call it planes. Planes of invisible glass. If you look at the diamond, that big cluster, there are infinite planes on it. And each plane is affected by the light. So it shimmers. But when you turn around, it shimmers in different places. Yeah? Okay, so the effect of the effect that consciousness creates, it creates a looker so that it can reflect back what it sees. And therefore it's satisfied. Because consciousness has no way of experiencing itself as this mirror. Or it knows it's a mirror, but there's no way of experiencing itself as what it is within the mirror and individual components. It's like saying to the dartboard, what are you? The dartboard says I'm a dartboard. What numbers are within the dartboard? What? I have no idea. What colours are within the dartboard? I have no idea. What are you made of? What fabric? What material? I have no idea. So it tries to create a mirror of itself as a dartboard, to see itself with all the numbers, all the colours. That's what's taking place. Your consciousness, looking at yourself as consciousness, but when you realize that within that you are never disconnected from that almighty consciousness, you are able to experience yourself as that whole dartboard. But you're not. That's a hypothetical example. You are the whole condensed form, soul, spirit, human, mind, organic creature. But when you individualize into these individual names and components, you say, when someone says, "Who are you?" "I'm Graham." "What are you?" "I am a body." You don't say, "I'm the whole of what I am," because they don't understand, you see, because they've not experienced their own whole. So the idea that any speaker speaking about what it's speaking about in an individualistic, component broken down way is really distasteful. When you say everything is one, everything is whole, that you're speaking about yourself. You're speaking about your whole I amness, your whole beyondness. But then again, you break it up. I amness and beyondness. Which one? All is the same. Whole. One. Consciousness is experienced as this whole. And you watch YouTube and you see many speakers who have obviously experienced the same as what you have as this whole. And they too are trying to remain within the whole. But because of the misfortune of words, we have to be very careful in which words are used. Because when you say, what is consciousness? Consciousness is what holds everything together. The mind can, well, what, you mean evil as well as good? So consciousness is a mirror, a beautiful celestial diamond, but it is not made of glass. It is much more pure, much more translucent, and it can be seen from many sides. And when the light that travels around it, its own light, its own darkness, like the sun traveling around the earth, or the earth revolving around the sun, or whatever it is that takes place. Not that I'm interested in that nonsense. It appears as different things, different colors, different shapes. Even a dartboard changes within the light of day. At night you can't see the numbers, you can't see the colors. When it's placed on a wall facing the window, it's incredibly colorful. When it's placed on a wall that is not facing the window, it reflects shadow. It reflects different versions of dark and light. And that's what takes place. There's no mirror revolving around consciousness because it's infinite. It's mirrored within. It's lit within. Everything is within. It's the same as you. Your light that gives you life is within you. Everything you reflect is within you. Your mind reflects what you feel. Your body reflects what it needs or what it's experiencing. You're reflecting outward and inward. We give everything outward different names, so therefore you think you're not that. And you're not that, whatever it is, a tree, but you're reflecting tree. The same consciousness. The tree of consciousness, the same of tree of me, the form. I don't know if this makes sense. But the idea to understand is to experience the whole consciousness that you are. And don't listen to the Bhagavad Gita, which is an incredibly pure way of describing the whole story of how consciousness and Krishna and Arjuna and the whole aspect is, the whole book is worthwhile. But when it says, breaks it down into God consciousness, transcendental consciousness, cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness, human consciousness, you think there's a stepping stone guide to get that. And there is. But when the mind says there is, you say, well, that must be that type of consciousness. That must be that type. And you're trying to measure and trying to control your instinctive awakening and enlightenment to experience the pure consciousness that you are. And the quick way is to remove I, is to see through I. I is I is the plane, you see. It's seen through. It's fake. What it's revealing are examples of what it could be. But the plane itself is seen through. Like the window behind me is seen through. Meaning it's fake and it's glass and it's easily recognized. But when you give it a name, you feel as if you have to recognize it as that name. And that's the whole problem. That's why Ramana Maharshi says remove the thoughts, which are words. Words are made up of names, syllables, letters, and they're not true. Only one syllable true, I. Even am is a coming and going, passing stage, which is seen through. Then everything is seen through, only I remains. When I is seen through, consciousness reveals itself. Wow, it says. You're a very disciplined gladiator. And it's speaking to itself. Because only consciousness exists.